from the soil under the roiling clouds of him, unemployed, those toiling thousands, unenjoyed in the pointless hours within the houses of mirth, in a gown of silk, promising as Milo to rap forever, rocking on vinyl in black letters, as speech on the March breeze, his artistry, asleep and or dreaming, the shark at the beach, within a culture of Fleetwood Macs and Pink Floyds, projecting outward as Three Stacks and Big Boy, this Giordano Bruno lit as the candle the flames, blacker than Trudeau with the black face, peace to the many beneath a tall government, upheld as these umbrellas, all one in consent, hellish these pelted paupers punned to death, devils repelled by Paul shrugging his dissent, and raptured and meshed in the wordplay of the bourgeoisie, a death as the curve of a blade, grimly good at this, his scythe swinging as Billy Wood's, his vivid slices of meaning, curling as cannabis, the smoke arose, swirling as the ashes of older poets, bipolar schizoaffective disorder, his diagnosis, God's navel, who ordered these white roses, naturally led to believe all black speech hostile, strapped to a bed for misspeaking in the hospital, all the private but real tortures we forget in the final generation of cerebral cortexes. To forget is to exist. 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 Forget is to exist. Burning his life's work, lost notes, returning as Christ to his hospitals, and blessing the preemies born again, as molesting your squeaky clean porcelain, collecting as the weekly forum, undigested as the species' origin, weirdly foreign to one mind invested in green forms of love like the lettuce, the light growing on the horizon, Christ approaching the top of the sky again, cotton candy, his pink speech, the propagandist bringing peace, invading Iraq with purpose, his rage against modern commercialism, displayed as the Pollock swirliness, these states locked in a skirmish, the debacle amid this blackness, in the crackle of twigs and branches, in the crackle of flickering candlelit, and samples of the risible alchemist, eating mushrooms, tripping on acid, nocturnal, these wriggling branches, aping the truth before phenomena, aping the news report's opera, aping the feudal lord's posture, aping the uniformal fog of war. Mirrors are an abomination, as Borges observed, as copulation, to increase as multiplication. These lovers of Satan, foaming from the top of the beer can, aluminum thought inhuman, the mirror man, playing over the metal his sunshine, that stranger reflection, what a guy. It used to be fun to be alive in the moonlight. I wonder why he tries, under the spell of an African mystic, the dark continental analytic, lifting a finger and scratching his chin with it, thought diffusing faster than liquid, meaning obscure in the back of his fridge, rearranging the wrap as his kitchen is, as the rack with the dishes, like Picasso, these valid incisions, lighting the candles and having a Christmas, biting his sandals, this cat was livid. Yow, mirrors are an abomination, as Borges, as copulation, increasing as multiplication, the number these lovers of Satan.
I've been practicing a steadily gaining an unhealthy oscillation in between being in love with my reflection and giving it a total rejection, like I am in pure hate with it. It would seem I am either some fictitious distant ancestor of Narcissus, so self-obsessed that I'm confusing all other fishes swimming around in a pond that I got stuck staring in. Or I am the opposite of elitist self-defeatist, catching a glimpse of my own reflection and drumming up some of the meanest possible commentary and scary this abomination. Silverback magic painted glass, so it will not get off my ass. I wanna take it up back to my house and smash it and bury it. 35 years of bad luck stuck staring in, like what are 7 more? Oh, I would risk it to end this vicious ebb and flow of self-hatred and overcompensation. The needle on my metronome, swinging forth and back so fast it could never be caught by this living little kitten.
Mirrors are an abomination, as Borges observes, as copulation, to increase as multiplication, the number of these lovers of Satan.
It's what you put on the canvas and how you put it on that makes the picture. It's how the words fit in. Poems are not made of thought, beautiful thoughts. It's made of words.
The dishwasher rhymes in his head, smiles in the depths of his pit. The water in concert with his fire, it spreads vile. The red brick dropped at work, it hits a walking clerk. He lies dead, his style in bed, a glittery nocturne, meticulously wrought, first shy and then adeptly, getting you high as the psychiatrist lets me. He sighs and reclines with a Pepsi, incompetent, evil, indolent, and wise, the proletarian ruder in his speech than Zeus in his sleep, whispering lies, our oxygen in that infinite night of space, time outside the limits of white hate, driving a jeep in the mud surrounding me, diving deep into the Duchess of Malfi, islands of meaning unpronounceably outside the limits of Cesis, the Mounties, the evening drowning his speech. Somehow, some way, my poetry, like every single day, it grows old as the trees we smoke beneath all the galaxies, the holes they leave in the ground beneath, the frequent poet emitting his sound a green light in the cold American distance, the power to control air and water. I mean like literal air and water. I mean white trillionaire slaughter. The dishwasher. The dishwasher. The dishwasher.
I don't understand how this country snapped like a rubber band. Many shot from truth like an ostrich under sand. Yet corrupted and sundered, everybody's a vendor, bargaining their art of schizophrenic aesthetic. Pledged urban nights to mimic artist plight. Why? Starving and suffering. But which ones really come from it? No testing method, no, so they build their credit. Indebted to ponderers, but schemed with no true ardor. It's harder to live as truth and see the lies championed. Who felt like a demon, spoke inside him like a Cambion. Stranded in the darkness of my soul, how I wrote the code, stole the open source, now my game is getting sold. I've just been developing this inner unity, put it into my program, that's my whole discography. I don't cry, where or when I want to, it's unreal. So the bug begins debugging, execute it, done deal.
Freak wizards in God's colony, the lost costly, the speeding tickets, street imagists as mock hobby, the yacht wobbly on the sea Pacific, meaning compressed as clowns in a car, medievalists eating better than thou art, green letter scatters under mountains and stars. Seagulls collecting around the barges, flowering darkness, recollecting dreams in the netting. This sound carnage as pounds garbage, streets forgetting, the thief abetting, the proud artist clouding his heart as if Eve were testing him. The CD excellent found in the car with discarded containers, garbage remainders, estrangement from the strange. These arms of a stranger will all be destroyed in a race war. Philosophy deployed as the prayer for street wizards in God's colony. Freak imagists as mock homie, working as the sculptor in irony. The chisel, his cultural piety, and when he brings the piety to the irony, as the linguist adept in vaginas, what shapes emerge from his intercourse? On the tape we heard under his force, roses and swans, poetic flowers and birds, the poet on a bed of nouns and verbs. The grapes of Rav Hollywood couldn't author. My face slammed on the hood of a cop car. The greed of Obama speechwriters, beneath his philosophy of diapers, an idea beneath the shit gushing, a high fever, the screaming sick suckling, a fine ether, his deconstruction, rhyme believers needed as love from him, tongue feeling the universal awkward, to read the protruding thermometer, a tragic case of thunder in the teacup. His Saturdays were numbered as the seagulls, the poet's 1, 2, 3 upon the sea, a cold affront to meteorology. Alas, he's a little under the weather, a pleasure craft as the river running forever. Clever raps make the clever man look clever, text subtracted from the second-hand bookseller. Yeah. These ninjas untrained in martial arts, these surahs constrained in partial dark, these affects I shot from the rifle, these baguettes I dropped from this Eiffel Tower, too great not to be seen through, the chowder you taste and it pleases you, his insight into the preparation, a big bite of his food as payment, mouth red as the pill no one needs, about as ethical as milk yogurt cheese. His rococo was still poetry, whether local or built overseas. The shape of a swan, the curves of science. The taste of this song irked the mindless, as Major Tom were so high. Yes, yes, I said yes, I will. Yes. A nude descending the staircase, these air raids, freedom to defend the king. This historian of vorticism, several his soul, the war that split him. These personae poetic in the literary sensorium of the reader's subject. The sea purple under the red, the cold strong beer of his mind reflected, as I suspected, a postmodern ear, slow watery tears upon the writer's desk. Stop the cyclist, crows walking here, stoned under the careless versing of the firmament. dared to be earthly, fulfilled as the guy who's strapped for cash, distilling in a haiku das Kapital. Police drive through, try to act natural, temptingly boasting a rap vaginal, empty and aglow as the black candles, an energy older than land animals. Forthcoming, the wizard his comb over, roaring and running a river older than Homer, the moral governing his simpler poem sober, overrun with sinister postmodern stoners. Andrew kept the flowers, extending his shampooed head from the shower, calling for his fiddlers three. As common his simplicity, unedited by barbers of the soul, of several minds, these artists uncontrolled, the forms we fill as figures in the dance, absorbed in a film the whites adore, that shot alone the bone in mid-air. Poetry is hair, it's all foam. As Robert Lowell in Cozy Despair, the notes we compare, the bodily toll, the poem something made of his soul unique, groaning, grunting labor of poetry. The limitations of his afro, the bald spot, their dissertation on Sappho was all for naught. These thoughts internested in telecommunion, sea fog as the memory of dead humans. Cleverly the depth illusion, dragging emotion to its gray period. This ancient flow through the raging years of this, playfully noting his strange appearance. As hairs his literature scissors snip, the character's physical literalness, these letters engraved as the grooviest, remembered as gray-blue music, these waves of euphonious evil, that's nature, careless as hurtling space debris, apparent as earth is in space to see, the rarest of birds, this courageous bee.